mainly due to the fact that I'm not going to be online for a few weeks after next Sunday, so it's going to be a case of I'll be back when I'm back, so I'm going to try and send things off nicely this evening where, we just all try and have a nice send-off, and of course, there will be Hell in the Cell later tonight. Drew, seriously, take the belt off Lashley. I got nothing against Lashley as a competitor, but it needs to go back to Drew.
It probably won't. They put a lot of investment on Lashley. Don't get me wrong, I have no problems against either competitor, but it's just...
Yeah.
When has WWE ever made good business decisions? To be honest.
There's some snarky comment I can go make, but then Win will probably go suing me for gimmick infringement. Sean says, on tonight's show, the hunt for a Karen with a brain goes on. Navi teams up with Pinky and the Brain to take over the world, and a scientist turns people into dinosaurs. It sounds like a regular... Scientist that turns people into dinosaurs. Why do I feel like I'm watching an episode of Darkwing Duck from back in the day?
Well, reminds me of that villain from Marvel, Zarkon in the Savage Land.
Yeah. Dan says, to describe this year's E3, I would like to quote the immortal words of Will Smith. Where are the video games?
Yep.
That was bad. There was some okay games that they announced, but the only good thing about E3 this year was the Nintendo conference, and that's kind of goes without saying.
Yeah.
I'm glad that who was it that said this? I'm glad Sean brought up Karen. We have a trailer.
Oh no!
Taryn Manning takes entitlement to a terrifying new level. Taryn Manning is making life hell for her new neighbors in the upcoming movie Karen, inspired by the real-life viral videos. Taryn Manning is a terrifyingly entitled woman in Karen, the upcoming thriller from Coke Daniels. Seriously, why did your mother hate you? Inspired by the real-life Karens of the world. Known for her breakout role on Orange is the New Black, which Miss Lily Livers had a cameo in. Manning will play a racist woman in the movie, similar to those witnessed in viral videos, calling on the police on neighbors for insignificant reasons. The first trailer has recently been released, and you can take a look at it below. We will in a little bit. Coke Daniels, His, Hers, and the Truth, directs the movie, which follows Taryn Manning as Karen Drexler, a racist white woman who makes it her personal mission to displace the new black family that has just moved in next door to her. Community activist Malik, Corey Hardrict, American Sniper, and his wife Imani, Jasmine Burke, Saints and Sinners, are the couple who have just moved to the Atlanta suburb, but they won't be backing down without a fight. Roger Dorman and Gregory Allen Williams also star. Producing the movie are Mary Allo, Bruised, and Craig Chapman, Honest Thief, alongside Gillian Hormel, Autumn Bailey Ford, Manning, and Hardict. Zanville and Victor Burke and Anik DeCoste are executive producing. Danny's Fictiville USA is also producing with Allo's Allo Entertainment in association with Hormel's Ludoscripts. The Peanut Gallery Group, Bondit Media Capital, BET, and Burke Management. I felt a social responsibility, even though I'm playing the opposite side. If I have to play the villain and then do all that to make the change, I was more than willing to step into the role. Manning said of her casting in a TMZ interview of Karen. If you don't like me in the role, perfect. I did my job just great. But the main point is that's what it's going to be on is just devastating, and it's time for a change. And for me to be part of that bigger picture meant a lot to me. Revealing that she watched a lot of real-life Karen videos online to prepare for the role, Manning added, I've seen a lot, and of course I've been watching more now because I'm wanting to find all of the different levels and different types. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of studying going on, but it's so bad and so everywhere. And that's the point of this film and why it's so timely and why I'm so excited. Don't know if I'd be excited to play a Karen.
Yeah.
Just saying. Last year, during the global pandemic and civil unrest, I, like many of us, felt anger, despair, and hopelessness. Also said per Deadline, the overwhelming amount of support from people around the globe who want to see change has been such an inspiration. Manning is also best known for playing Pensacity on Orange is the New Black, a role she played for all 7 seasons of the Netflix series. She is also known for playing Sherry in Sons of Anarchy. I've heard good things about that show. And has many roles, including 8 Mile. Oh, I did not know that. The Vault.
She was a 8 Mile, yeah.
And the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson. The actress...
God.
Oh my god.
Bruh. Almost supposed to reveal that shit. Oh my god, that shit is terrible.
Okay. The actress more recently appeared in the comedy Last Call with Jeremy Piven. Jamie Kennedy, very underrated comic actor, I might add, especially in Kicking It Old School. Zach McGowan and Bruce Dern. A release date hasn't been revealed for Karen. Per Deadline, 13 Films has boarded sales on the movie ahead of the Cannes virtual market. The new trailer for the movie comes to us from Flicksville on YouTube. And we're going to take a look.
Oh boy.
Okay, then.
I'm sorry, I'm enjoying...
It is our civic duty.
Yes.
I'm just going to see the comments section real quick. Sean Retcher's just said Nintendo got the games. Okay.
Yeah, Nintendo basically won E3, and E3 was kind of shit this year.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay.
Fair, I'm still waiting to hear stuff about Pokemon Arceus, but what do I know?
I am at 0.
Me too.
Where is it?
Oh, it should be... Hang on.
It's in the actual article.
I'm looking for it, just
I did post it into Discord, Lids.
Okay. Much appreciated.
Let's see. Oh, hang on. There we go.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Got you covered.
There you go.
Oh boy. Alright.
I'm at 0-0.
I am also at 0.
I'm at 0, and the fact the EC is part of this. Ugh. It makes me hate that. It makes me hate that network more.
Oh no!
The same network that gave us What Men Want.
Yeah.
There you are.
Alright. Fortunately, I'm ready.
No, you don't want to know.
3,
Okay,
2, 1, play.
Damn you, Bluetooth. Damn you to hell.
Maybe you just gotta give it a chance.
Oh, God, haircut.
Oh God, she looks like a fucking Karen.
I'm keeping it down.
She looks like that Halloween mask.
Somebody's taking home security serious.
Hi, I am Karen Drexler. I'm your neighbor. You need to be taking your trash cans off the curb right when the trash is picked up.
Is she nice?
Oh God.
Wait a minute. We have a white entitled neighbor named Karen.
Karen, okay, enjoy yourself.
There she is, slaving away in the
Oh, no!
Oh God.
Can you please hurry up? Please, they're very aggressive. Yep.
I left my wallet and my ID at home. Leave us alone. We didn't do anything.
How the heck did you end up moving to this neighborhood? Next thing you know, we have criminals. You take care of him, and I will take care of her.
Would you mind stepping out of the car?
My office has uncovered some disturbing information on her and her brother.
She doesn't like black people.
We have a search warrant.
Oh,
Well, I'm black.
What? No, of course
I
not.
couldn't fucking tell.
Doesn't like you either.
No.
I want to sell the house.
What I do? You can't tell me, huh?
We are living next
Oh.
Racist. You went in her house. You wouldn't want your wife to know our little secret, right?
I was not standard police procedure back there.
What do we have here?
When you got a hammer, everything looks like nails.
You people are very angry.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Oh my god.
Bad things happen to people who don't comply.
Got nothing.
Did I not say there would be blood dripping down from white letter? Flicksville, you owe me money!
What the hell was that?
Exactly!
What?
Oh,
I'm sorry, but that crusty quote was all I could think of.
oh, funny thing. Whilst we were talking over, she actually said, either you get out of my face or I'm calling the manager. I'm like, ah!
Oh my god.
I just want to share this with Ernie just so we can see his reaction.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh, sweet merciful crap! Dan just said my reaction. Meh.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Raiden's losing it.
I mean, like, oh my god, like if they try to make that Oscar bait, I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. My brain is broken. Oh god. No.
I think MJ is suffering from the fit of the giggles.
Welcome to the dark side, MJ.
The fact that it
MJ's on dark.
The fact that it got within like 20 seconds of the trailer, we got the first, I want to see the manager!
Oh.
What the fuck is that?
To quote the late Helsing 920, I have nothing!
I don't have anything either. I'm like, oh my god.
I got nothing.
Oh, sweet merciful Lord!
I can't think of anything to say, and I've seen only play the Yakuza games.
Oh.
Yeah, he has seen men in diapers. He has seen a man in drag. This is some weird ass shit.
You seen a man in drag? I didn't know he saw my dad playing in a football match.
No.
For context, it was a charity football match, and one of the stipulations was all the guys had to dress in drag.
Oh.
Yeah, just years ago, though.
Sounds like something for comic relief.
It was for charity, so, you know, it's all in good fun.
Look at the first comment. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time. The Confederate flag on the something that's had me rolling.
Oh, yeah. Time to look at the comments section. Oh, yes.
You must invade the comment section.
This movie looks like it's going to stress me out. Karen's wig is... Go on.
Karen's wig is awful. She looks like she's doing a funny skipper accent.
Why is this so funny? I'm crying.
My brain is still trying to comprehend the fact that this fucking exists.
That's what I'm gonna say. If he doesn't
Oh my
Black
God.
People, what the fuck is the movie? It's gonna be satiric. Oh, you know what? The first time you talked about this trailer, talking about this movie, MJ, I didn't give a shit. But honestly, I'm gonna
We must have a watch party.
laugh. I do. That's believe without his bullshit.
Oh my God. There she is, slaving away in the kitchen. Bro. That was my reaction. I'm like, no.
This comment. Sorry.
Karen's be like watching this. Triggered. Good. Up that comment.
So true.
The fact that this isn't an SNL sketch makes this 10 times funnier. This is something they would do.
Karen's everywhere will Karen over this movie the fan to get it pulled. I would like to see that.
I don't know why, but when I watch seeing her in the trailer, I'm just reminded of that Karen mask that we saw last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm dying. A must see. When a slap isn't enough. So far, 23 Karens disliked this video.
Oh my God.
Can't wait. When's it coming out? South Africans, mark your register here. Ooh!
Oh my God. Oh God, this is literally Lakeview Terrace, except the part of Samuel L. Jackson will be played by a white woman. No!
Nice.
No!
I remember that movie.
Okay, this one, I am not reading that out.
Let me wait. Which one is it? Where is it? Oh, there you go. I'll do it. I'll take the bullet. LIW213. There she is, swimming away in the kitchen. Fucked up.
That is fucked up.
I like this one from Julianne Alexander. They forgot to add based on true events.
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if anybody will get the reference. It's like, I can't wait to see this and roll on the floor laughing. Karen is the modern day version of Dolores Umbridge. Oh! He's not wrong.
Christoph Sherburn. I'm not going to read that.
Off topic.
Yeah.
Voldemort was the villain in Harry Potter, but there was no one, absolutely no one I hated more than that pink dress bitch Dolores Umbridge.
Yes.
Man. I mean, God bless Miss Imelda Staunton for bodying the role, but oh my God, I wanted her face taken so badly. I don't care if she old Brett. I just wanted her dead.
Okay,
yeah.
I read this comment. Don't lie. Everyone will see this movie because they will.
I will.
Yes, I will.
I'm. You know what? When it gets released on Blue, I'm gonna show this to me and my boys are gonna watch it. They're all black, and I'm gonna. Oh, I don't care if they're gonna be print. I will die laughing.
This is another Danny DeVito dark comedy, right? Liberals, how can we create more divide in America? Bet. Hold my English 800.
Oh my God! It's like this movie is so offensive to Karens all over the world, across the world. 2 tickets, please.
I think I got. I have something to cleanse the palate, but for me, I don't know because you know how much this show has just ripped me apart when it comes to laughing.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Yay! Yes. Bottom.
Yes, people. I'm legit going to hurt myself watching this after we're done.
Oh, I wanted to watch it now.
This movie's going to end with Ma showing up.
Oh no, I know what they're referring to. It's the movie with Octavia Spencer as a psychotic black woman. I'm not joking.
Now there's a crossover I could see.
Liz is not lying. Oh my
When
god.
Karen met Ma.
Okay, for context, try watching that shit in the black theater from one of her motherfuckers started laughing when you said it.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Oh
I never thought of laughing. I never thought of laughing.
I am just at a loss for words, but at the same time, I'm just gonna go in and watch it just to see how bad this actually is.
My God.
This needs to be seen.
I think we have a new contender for best worst movie ever. Even more so than The Room.
Oh God.
Listen, oh God, the room was great. The room was funny bad, but I don't know about this movie, but still.
At least this one has a budget.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh God.
You know what this movie needed? Tell me why so.
Oh God, BC, if y'all wasn't fucking stupid before. Oh God, y'all lost the plot, but no, why would you?
Oh.
Backlot makes me makes me despise that damn network so much. Oh.
I'm just going to end my contributions with this and say I'm at a loss for words. And I'll probably see this opening night. I'll be like, premium, please.
Oh my God.
Oh, damn.
Imagine like, oh hey, Liz, what are we seeing for Valentine's night? Oh, don't worry, honey, we're seeing some. Liz, what the hell? Why are you watching?
No,
Why are you
I'm
watching
gonna have to
Karen?
blindfold it. I am going to have to blindfold him in order to see this. Don't worry about it, honey. Why are you putting on a blindfold?
Liz, you gotta do this. You got to do this for me. After the movie ends, film his reaction, please.
Yes.
Oh God! The first words are going to come out of his mouth are going to be, "I want a divorce." Like, we're not married yet. Not with that attitude.
Oh, I've just even thought of one-upping it. Do a live Twitch watching of it.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Like, so, honey, what did you think of Karen? I
hate you all. Honey, do you want some Dominoes? Yes, please.
No, you better pay for Dominoes for the rest of our lives.
Oh my God. Stephen, thoughts before we move on to something else?
I got nothing.
Let's.
I'm sorry, I got nothing. I literally got nothing. All that I can say is this is going to be some good torture for Oni later.
Raiden?
Get ready for Karen.
Raiden?
Brothers out there.
I've got a dog in here. He's mad. Mad dog.
I think that's the first time we've ever been speechless.
Yeah. I've laughed at some funny shit before on here, but that one takes the cake.
Takes the damn bakery.
Oh yeah.
Man, when this recording is over, I am going to rewatch this stream and I will laugh again.
Oh god. All right. I'm going to move on to something that's a lot more pleasant now.
Oh, please.
We have our first shots of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne from the Flash movie.
Ooh.
The Flash set photos are giving fans their first look at Michael Keaton's return as Bruce Wayne, while director Andy Muschietti, hope I pronounced that right.
Andy Muschietti.
Thank you.
Same guy who did the It movies, the remade It movies.
Teased
It Chapter 2.
Teased Keaton's costume with his own photo on social media. A new fan photo shows Keaton back as Bruce Wayne, reprising his role from 1989's Batman movie and its sequel, Batman Returns. Keaton will be playing the older Bruce Wayne from an alternate timeline in the film, which draws inspiration from DC Comics' 2011 Flash-centric timeline rewriting crossover event titled Flashpoint. Go watch the animated movie; it's awesome.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. You will win on how brutal it is, but still a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Keaton stars opposite Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, the Flash, and Ben Affleck as the Bruce Wayne of Barry's timeline. Ben Affleck's Batman's the baseline. He's part of the unaltered state before we jump into Barry's adventure. There's a familiarity here. Muschietti explained in an interview with Vanity Fair in 2020. This movie's a bit of a hinge in the sense that it presents a story that implies a unified universe where all the cinematic iterations that we've seen before are valid. It's inclusive in the sense that it's saying that all that you've seen exists and everywhere that you will see exists in the unified multiverse. And I'm going to share distinguished Bruce Wayne, as we can see here.
Holy shit!
It almost looks like how Bruce in that movie continuity would look now, but obviously still with his hair, and it's kind of like, how best to describe this, much younger than the Batman Beyond version, but obviously much more distinguished than what we remember from Batman Returns, considering that's 29 years ago. So it's been a bit of time since then. Keaton previously seemed unsure if he'd have time to commit to the Flash movie. His role was confirmed when the film entered production. I'm needing a minute to think about it because I'm so fortunate and blessed. I got so much going on now. And to be fair, he gets a lot of work these days, and rightly so. I'm really into work right now. I don't know why, but I am. And so yeah, to tell you the truth, somewhere on my iPad is an iteration of the whole Flash thing. I haven't had time yet. I called them and said, I have to be honest with you. I can't look at anything right now, Keaton told Deadline. I'm so deep into this thing I'm doing, Hulu series Dope Stick. Also, I'm prepping a thing that I'm producing, getting ready to do down the road in the fall that I'll be in. I feel responsible to do that. The Flash movie also stars Sasha Calle as Supergirl, Kiersey Clemens as Ari West, Maribel...
Iris.
Thank you. Maribel Verdú as Nora Allen, and Ron Livingston as Henry Allen. The movie is poised to introduce the multiverse and rewrite the DC Extended Universe's timeline. Translation, damage control. Throwing the doors open for all of the DC films that follow. What captivated me about The Flash is the human drama in it. The director said, the human feelings and emotions that play in the drama, it's going to be fun too. I can't promise that there will be any horror elements in it, really, but it's a beautiful human story. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. I'm all game for Michael Keaton being back as Bruce. And it's the thing about Keats, as Jack Nicholson referred to him as whilst he was working on Batman, he doesn't seem to age that much. You know,
really?
I mean, he's got this very sort of George Clooney thing going on where, yeah, you can tell he's aged, but it's very subtle. You know, you have to look very closely at photos to be able to distinguish a difference. And the whole Silver Fox thing he's got going on, this works for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sean just left a comment. I wonder what real Karens will think of this. I don't know what they don't have the ability to think. That would imply they had the ability to, anyhow. But that's just more iterating what you're saying.
Hey.
All I'm gonna say is, as long as the story's decent and it stays, reasonably faithful to the source material, and we get Keats to come back and say once more, "I'm Batman," I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Steve?
Very glad to see that Keaton will be back. I've also remember seeing earlier today that there were images of was it Supergirl in the movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they had some pictures, some set pictures of her, partly in the costume. Looks interesting. So I'm very keen to see what a trailer will be like.
All right, Raiden.
Yeah, this looks dope. Just looking at, just want to see more. Just want to see more.
All right, Litz.
I'm very intrigued by it. Again, I need to see a trailer for it, but again, this doesn't look bad. And if this is talking about the multiverse and changing everything, can we keep Shazam how it is, please?
Please.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah,
that's one of the good things about that.
Yeah.
The thing about Shazam. It's a fun, lighthearted movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Levi as Shazam was great. The kid who played Billy Batson was great. And the whole orphan crew was just adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of Supergirl, they've actually partially unveiled the costume. Supergirl is officially making her DCE debut. I don't know what my brother would think about that. Her DCEU debut in The Flash, appearing alongside Ezra Miller's Barry Allen, and now we have an idea of what her big screen suit will look like. The director has been posting photos of the various hero suits from the film on his Instagram throughout production, showing off the threads for Miller's Flash and Michael Keaton's Batman. On Friday, he offered up the first look at Supergirl's new outfit. Like the other first look photos, he has shared to this point, the image of Supergirl's suit is a close-up on the logo at its center. The logo is the same as worn by Henry Cavill's Superman, but there's a different pattern on the fabric. It also looks like the suit will utilize a two-tone color scheme, with red on the shoulders and blue on the rest of the torso. You can take a look below. It's different. In The Flash, Supergirl will be played by young and up-and-comer Sasha Calle. The director and Warner Brothers made the casting announcement back in February, sharing the video call where they broke the news to Calle. There's no word yet just how big of a role Supergirl will play in The Flash. It will be a crowded movie, with 2 different versions of Batman already confirmed for the cast. Calle will be the 3rd actress to take on the Supergirl mantle in live action. Helen Slater played the character in the 1984 Supergirl film, while Melissa Benoist has starred as the titular hero on the CW series for 6 seasons. Benoist has also appeared as Supergirl on other Arrowverse TV shows, though her solo series is coming to an end after the 6th installment. As far as the DCEU Supergirl girls, there's no telling how long Calle will be donning the suit. There have also been reports about a solo Supergirl movie for years, and with the addition of HBO Max as a new way to release TV and film projects, it feels like this Supergirl could be around for a while. What do you think of the new Supergirl suit? Let us know in the comments. My thoughts on it, I like the fact that it's being authentic and staying true to the Kryptonian heritage that we've seen on Henry Cavill's Superman suit. As long as the writing's decent and the cast member puts in a decent performance, let her carry on. And, you know, the suit's a different look. I feel like it's trying to have, like, the semblance of the two-tone thing is, like, meant to be, like, representing the cape, even though she's probably likely to have the cape on there unless they're going to go Batman Beyond style, which, you know, would be an interesting take. No, that's it. It looks good. Proof in the pudding will be in the eating. Steven.
I'm very much in the same mind as you. Need to see more, though, before I can make a full judgment. Again, I repeat what I said when I say, waiting for a trailer to see more.
Raiden?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Can't wait to see. You know, more. Can't wait to see what's next.
Lids?
I mean, I'm with the consensus on everybody. I'm excited for it, but I also need a trailer first before I can make a snap assumption. And having Supergirl in the DCEU, I mean, you gotta explain a lot of things, but unless it's gonna be like after the Flashpoint timelines changed everything, which is how they're gonna explain why Supergirl's here, but don't know. Oh, all in all, I'm excited. I want to see what happens next. Also, I got a barking dog in here, and I apologize for that.
It's okay.
It's okay. We love puppies.
He doesn't like being confined.
Next up,
Heard me.
Power Rangers movie reboot, the second one, gets 2023 release date.
Well, you deal with that.
A recent entry on the Brazilian licensing convention website revealed when we can expect to see the Power Rangers back on the big screen. It looks like the release date for the planned Power Rangers reboot may have been inadvertently leaked thanks to the entry on the Brazilian licensing. The Power Rangers are currently making waves on TV again with Power Rangers Dino Fury, and Hasbro have been working on a new movie with E1, with the intention of bringing their current wave of success to the big screen. Now it looks like we can expect the new movie to arrive in 2023 if all goes according to plan. The translation of the website reads, Description: Power Rangers is a global phenomenon, a unisex brand with more than 90% knowledge present in over 180 countries since the 90s. With more than $10 billion in retail sales in the most diverse categories, Power Rangers has in its DNA a lot of action, emotion, teamwork, diversity, and humor. With a movie release planned for 2023, Power Rangers is a streaming success with more than 26 seasons and 900 episodes available on Netflix, and has a very active fan community with over 2.8 million followers on Facebook, 333,000 on Instagram, and another 140,000 on Twitter. Its 29th season, called Dino Fury, is ready to be released. While there is very little information about the movie available currently, it has been previously reported that filming would start sometime towards summer next year, which would fit in with the planned 2023 release. Jonathan Entwistle is currently slated to be directing the movie. Not sure if I should be concerned or not. And rumours have suggested that the film will incorporate a time travel element which will allow it to connect to the TV franchise that has not been done with any previous Power Rangers projects. I'm worried already. A joint statement earlier put out by E1 movie president Nick Mayer and Global Television president Michael Lombardo said, Jonathan has an incredible creative vision for this iconic and hugely successful franchise, and is hands down the right architect to join us as we reimagine the television and film worlds of this property. Across our slate, we are looking forward to work with the most talented storytellers as we take on Hasbro's rich fan-favorite brands and build entertainment universes around them. Entwistle himself also made comments on his appointment as director, saying that this is an unbelievable opportunity to deliver new Power Rangers to both new and exciting generations of awaiting and adoring fans. will bring the spirit of analog into the future, harnessing the action and storytelling that made this brand a success. There are currently no suggestions of who would be cast as the colourful heroes, or what form the villains will take this time around. It is only 4 years since the last attempt to bring the franchise to the big screen, but a hammering by the critics and poor show at the box office killed off any planned sequels to that particular story. Is there any way for a reboot to work better than the previous outing, or should they just quit while they're ahead? Expect more information about this particular reboot in the coming months. I'm going to try and be as candid and as objective as I can. I think more time needed to pass between this new reboot and the failed 2017 iteration. Now, there are elements of the 2017 movie that I enjoyed. I think the actors in particular were one of the very few saving graces about that movie, particularly with the bonding and the training. But given the cheapness of the budget with regards to the visual effects and the fact that only the last 20 minutes of the movie felt like it was being a Power Rangers movie, I think is what let it down.
That was definitely the movie's downfall.
I think the other biggest problem that they had with that movie was they were trying to be too edgy for the sake of being too edgy. Now, I'm not saying it's got to be like Shadow the Hedgehog or be like Owl the Edge and just be, just over the top snarkiness for no reason. I think what I would have preferred to have seen is maybe a little mix of, say, with regards to tone and humor, mixing the first Avengers with maybe a reasonably healthy dose of Batman Begins, just where it knows when to get serious, but it also knows when to ease back and take things step back a bit further, because Power Rangers is meant to be a goofy comedy action romp where it's in on the joke. It's like any
honestly, if it was up to me, I would use the tone for 2017 Power Rangers like the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
I could work with that. I could work with that.
I mean, it's still one of the greatest depictions of the Ninja Turtles ever. Like, not only had the goofiness of the 80s cartoons, but it had the grittiness that was part of the original Mirage comics. So, I feel like that would have been worth for Power Rangers, but don't make it too dark, but still, have a little bit of dark moments. I don't know. Kind of sort of like, I don't know, the Power Rangers in Space / Lost Galaxy era.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mainly Lost Galaxy era, because remember, and I'm going off topic. I know this is SKL, blah blah blah. But yeah, if anyone remembers the episode where it was very alien-like.
Little bit.
Yeah. It was the episode where the crew of Terra Venture got a message from a spaceship that's been abandoned, and one by one soldiers was getting taken away by some alien. So yeah, I would say use that tone a little bit, but not too darkish.
Another way you could sort of look at it, you could try and use 30% of the tone from the Batman versus Dracula.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely had its dark element.
I mean, it was dark, but it was not like full-on Batman the Animated Series dark. It knew when to pull back. With regards to casting, I think and it's like I said, the cast were one of the very few saving graces because the writing and the budget is what let that movie down. So
yeah, half the writing was good, especially with the character building.
yes,
But like it definitely fell flat. Like he didn't know that much about characters. Like the one character that I feel like that got the staff was Zach.
yeah.
But what I did appreciate, they changed up the rate. They changed up the races a little bit.
That I did agree with because although we all love the very first iteration of Power Rangers with the original 6, you tried. I mean, to be fair, it was questionable back in the day, but to do that today, it'd be like, dude, you don't want to do that. Don't do it. I think like some of the other topics we've covered, particularly with regards to the Flash movie, it sounds promising. Need to see a trailer, but I would have waited at least another 2 to 3 years before doing another movie. The 2017 movie's still kind of fresh in people's minds, and they haven't quite gotten the taste out of its mouth, so...
And besides, Power Rangers media is still booming, especially with the Boom Studios comics.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like with that medium, that can hold Power Rangers fans over, especially when it comes to merchandising.
Yeah.
I tell you what they need to do is just like finally pull the trigger. Please just give us an animated Power Rangers movie. It's something that we've never had. And what if they just took, the comic book storylines they've been doing in Boom Studios, but do it like a high quality animated movie, like they're gonna do, like they did with Castlevania.
Might as well get Warner Brothers. Might as well get Warner Brothers on it. Just fuck it. Just do a fucking 4 to 5 part series of Shattered Grid.
Yes.
Seriously, just put that on screen and have Jason David Frank voice the character. It would definitely surprise a lot of people who still got love for the Power Rangers franchise.
Yeah. Not to mention that if they ask Warner Brothers, they could always do the Justice League meets Power Rangers storyline.
If there's a god, they do that shit.
Oddly enough,
After that, they do Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers. Let's go.
Yes.
Good.
Oddly enough, Sean Retro said the same thing in the comments. Do the Power Rangers and Justice League crossover, please.
Seriously, it's well overdue. Read the comics. Read the comics. It's very fun. It's like, I don't know.
And Warner Brothers and Nickelodeon have collaborated before. They did Batman meets Ninja Turtles, which was awesome.
We want a sequel.
The greatest thing ever created.
I know.
Especially with that twist in the end and twist in the end with Shred becoming a Joker.
Oh yeah.
I was like, and besides, I really didn't know that happened until I had to look online. Like, oh shit, they did something different. I'm like, okay.
And thing is, when that came through the mail about 2 to 3 years ago, we purposely waited until that came in the mail, and then we had Domino's whilst watching Batman versus the Ninja Turtles, and it's just like, this is perfect. And here's the thing, everyone was in character perfectly, and the fact they had Tom Kenny come back as the Penguin is just like, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thing I noticed as well, and I think Raiden's is something you and I have highlighted before, the animation style was very reminiscent of the Batman.
A little bit, especially how colorful it was. You know? I mean, especially the parts where everyone from Batman's World got mutated.
Oh, that scene was oh my god.
And the fact that Harley became a hyena is like, yeah, that's a little too on the nose.
Oh god.
But yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah, those are my comments for it. Stephen?
The element of time travel is what gets me concerned, because they're going to be careful how they play around with that mechanic, because considering how large of a history that Power Rangers has had,
Yep.
It gets me worried that if they do anything that has knock-on effects to the established canon, although history of Power Ranger teams within the whole franchise itself is a bit complicated, and it might prove tricky for some people to actually get in to actually follow.
Yeah.
So they might have. I'm just cautious about how they use that element if it is the case that they do use time travel.
Yeah, that's fair. Lids?
I mean, I still think that a reboot of when we just had a reboot is kinda seems counterproductive, all things considered. I mean, let the people wash the taste out of their mouth from the last reboot you tried to do. This is my issue with everything. It's like we're trying to reboot, revive, and revitalize everything. People, did we run out of ideas, or just me?
Funny you go and mention that. One movie studio has decided to do a new rendition of Dogtanyan and the Three Muskehounds.
What?
How long did that series go through?
Dogtanyan and the Muskehounds. That's gotta be mid-80s at the very least.
Damn.
Ugh.
Let me see. Let me just do a quick check. Dogtanyan and the Three Muskehounds. That was originally broadcast in 1981.
Jesus Christ.
Followed by the return of Dogtanyan as a series. When was that? That was in 1989. And I've seen the trailer for it. Cringe doesn't cut it.
Oh,
Ugh.
It's nasty. It's got that very uninspired voice acting and writing of Romeo and Juliet.
No!
I mean, the animation looks fine. I'll grant them that at the very least, but I think for that one, because it's by a huge studio, I'll show you the trailer off air for that, because
don't want to risk getting in trouble.
No. Raiden?
I mean, listen. How I feel about the 2017 Power Rangers movie, it was okay, but you know, the fact that they're going to do this for 2023, I think that's a good way for people to introduce it more. Element of time travel seems a little crazy, but hey, listen. I'm okay with, the word. I'm okay with how Power Rangers is being handled now, especially Spoon Studios comics and all that. So I think with this, I have a little bit of hope that it'll get what's the word, better. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Sean says the Time Rangers would tell them to stop time traveling. That's our thing. Yeah.
Time Ranger, and for people who don't know, Time Ranger is basically Super Sentai, and it is what gave us Power Ranger Time Force.
Mm-hmm.
which is my personal favorite Power Rangers series.
Yeah.
I'm partial to, well, Mighty Morphin for obvious reasons. Zeo would be my second favorite because it was the Rangers at their strongest. One of the very few things I agree with Linkara about. I'd say after that, Dino Thunder is a guilty pleasure of mine, mainly because JDF came back into the frame and, he became a Ranger again. It's just like, okay, that was sweet. But after that, that's kind of where I just sort of walked away again. It's like, nah, I'm good.
For me, one of the series that I really liked when it was airing on TV was Wild Force.
Wild Force was decent. I can't lie. I think people go watch Wild Force is because of the whole Forever Red thing.
Yes.
But yeah, for me at least, for Power Rangers, let's see, from Space, Lost Galaxy, Time Force, I feel like for me at least was the peak of Power Rangers, because I feel like the writing, even though it was marketed for kids, it was just out of this world great. I mean,
yes,
for sure. I mean, just and especially in Space when I think Andros mentioned the Dagobah system.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Dagobah system.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, they know. And the funny thing about in Space after the dismal season that was known as Power Rangers Turbo, that was supposed to be his last season.
Yeah.
But it was so popular, so I was like, I was like, fuck it, let's keep doing it. And it produced one of my personal favorites, aside from Time Force, Lost Galaxy. What I really enjoy is just I like how it's a whole new cast, but you definitely see the old elements of Power Rangers, and
yes,
it felt right.
I'm partial to In Space as well, mainly because it was the same cast from Turbo carried over, but they actually have more of a definitive leader and mentor with Andros, and of all the Power Rangers themes I've heard over years, In Space has easily got to be one of the greatest that he's ever created.
Also, not to mention Astronomer. How you doing? Not only she was beautiful, she was a very effective villain. Before she got forcibly cybernetically implanted.
Yep.
And also what I liked about the character herself is that she made an appearance in Lost Galaxy after Kendrick, and I'm using air quotes, died. I really like that redemption arc. That was really cool. I like stuff like that.
Yep. Who would like a treat?
I would.
The last one in the house.
Oh shit.
Oh my
god. Boy.
And later, you can thank Win for some of her contributions.
Oh!
Aha! I'm at 0-0.
Same here.
I gotta pull it up. Give me a sec.
And plus, like I say, it is the 20th anniversary. 20 years ago, on July 3rd, that's when the third movie came out.
I think I remember when I saw it in theaters.
I do too.
Honestly, the only thing I remember from this movie was the toy commercials. That was it. And after that, I didn't hear shit from Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Everyone,
do this.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Next logo.
And it ends the 4-month sabbatical. You know, it's been said that time can offer different perspectives to movies even decades after their original release. Movies like Tron developed a cult-like following 20 years after its 1982 theatrical release, even though it didn't set the world on fire around that time. The same can be said with 1995's Batman Forever, in which people could see what Joel
still enjoy that
Schumacher
movie,
was
I don't care.
trying to do
Same
with a
here.
very different take for The Dark Knight. And we come to the 20th anniversary of 2001's Jurassic Park 3. Now, I know what some of you are going to say, but you've reviewed this movie before. That's true. But, considering the higher level of quality I've raised since the 25th anniversary of Jurassic Park, I wanted to go back and take another
CGI
crack
got worse.
at this. Plus, a movie only ever gets a 20th once. So, let's get into Isla Sorna once again.
So dumb.
20 years after viewing this movie, I still have the same perspective from what scenarios could the studio use considering what stories had been told with the original and The Lost World. There had to be some way of getting people back onto the island as Site B had been made restricted courtesy of what the bald T-Rex did in San Diego. It does seem rather illogical for a man and his potential teenage stepson to go parasailing along the coast of Isla
takes
Sorna,
I had to do to get that
hoping
one
to get footage
voiceover
of the
right.
dinosaurs. But again, there wouldn't be much need of a rescue if you didn't have idiots. Now, am I referring to the characters or the writers? My answer is yes. There were elements that are genuinely thought-provoking and could have potentially led to some interesting possibilities. The aspect of the illegal cloning taking place on Isla Sorna with the omission of the Spinosaurus when the list of dinosaurs that had been cloned after the San Diego incident in The Lost World. As Grant says,
Spinosaurus aegypticus.
I remember that on InGen's list.
It's because it wasn't on their list, and that makes you wonder what else they were up to.
and that's where that aspect ends, as it's never brought up again. Whilst we're on this subject, while I liked the idea of the Spinosaurus being introduced, I was not a fan of this animal killing off the T-Rex, which had been the franchise's MVP since the very first movie. It'd be like dethroning Stone Cold Steve Austin as the WWE Champion and replacing him with Virgil. You see how this doesn't make any sense? If they had to go to the route of replacing T-Rex, I think it would have been better to come down to halfway through the movie and have the Spino kill it then. The
Part
way
of the
it was
reason
done
would
with
be
not even 30
with
minutes
Jack Horner.
past was just asinine and unnecessary. The illegal cloning is an interesting aspect that could have been explored more, to where we could have possibly had another movie after this where it would have delved into what had been taking place on the island. But again, considering the writing that went into this, I could be forgiven for giving this flick too much credit. And it's the same with the Velociraptors, and to give the writers some flack, they did show the evolution of these intelligent pack hunters that could vocalize and coordinate their attacks and even set up traps.
Inside a trap.
Like shit!
One of the other faults I found with this movie is the runtime was much shorter than that of the former movies. The first two were 2 hours long, whereas this clocked in at 92 minutes. Had the movie been given an additional 15 to 20 minutes just to flesh some plot points out with regards to the illegal cloning and the raptors, it would have filled in some gaps. Upon reflection, there are some clever ideas that were introduced, but they're abandoned as quickly as they're touched upon. In the retrospective that was released with the trilogy on Blu-ray back in 2011, director Joe Johnson mentions that they did away with the original script 5 weeks before shooting and worked the new script around the dinosaurs they had made.
What?
The original script was of a family split between
That's
two
Vincent
planes
Mann's
that would have
levels of
seen the
stupid.
plane carrying the kids.
Yeah, that
to
is,
Isla Sorna.
yeah.
This is an aspect that was loosely carried over into the animated series Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. I think had the new script had been given more time, it could have solved some of the problems this movie had.
Oh only
With all
Camp
the problems
Cretaceous
that
is
this
better.
movie had, Yeah. Sam is
Mhm.
easily the saving grace of this flick, and I like how they show where the character is 8 years after getting off of Isla Nublar by the skin of his teeth and not wanting to revisit that world. He displays his disdain with flawless expertise, and let's be real, if someone had kidnapped me deceitfully, I think I'd have every right to be bemused. He gives a great performance of a man showing disdain for what John Hammond and InGen had created at Jurassic Park, referring to the animals as genetically engineered theme park monsters.
Nothing more and nothing less.
I really felt like he was trying as a father to get his son back, even if he and his on-screen wife had to kidnap Grant.
Raiden's gonna love me in a bit.
But let's be real a moment.
Uh-oh.
If your kid had been left trapped on a restricted island with dangerous prehistoric predators, then I think you would do whatever it takes to get your kid back. Macy shows genuine fear, concern, and resourcefulness as Paul Kirby in the lengths he went to reunite with his son, Eric. Macy was a huge fan of the original Jurassic Park and had been waiting for some time to be part of the franchise so that he could impress his daughter. Before Megan Fox, there was Tia Leone. And by the context of that, I'm talking about a pretty face with little talent. Although to be fair to Megan Fox, they did give her some useful material to work with in the Ninja Beetle franchise. Those that have seen Bad Boys will know that this girl can't act her way out of a paper bag, and it's pretty much the same here. She doesn't know how to act with conviction, and on top of that, her character is annoying. But I think that's more of a writing flaw rather than a flaw of her acting, or their lack of.
Guys, a movie's in trouble. Tay Leone's trying to act. Stop her! Send this Oh, no, we're not wasting good money on her. Let's get Domino's instead. I want human and pineapple.
Come down to Jurassic Domino's, where we have the Jurassic classic of 2 human pineapple pizzas at a mouthwatering $14.99. And at no extra cost, 2 T-Rex
Sounds
T-bone
delicious,
steaks
except
and
for the
a
human
Raspberry
part.
Pepsi for the every hungry raptor. Jurassic
Ooh,
Domino's.
Pepsi.
If it's not Jurassic, it's not classic. Human and pineapple pizza is not recommended for human consumption. If you do, you're a sick and twisted cannibal and should seek counseling immediately. Just ask Hannibal Lecter. Num 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 num. Had this character been portrayed by plus it's Nicole Kidman. Mavola portrays Billy like most people would have done, being on the island. And
I showed that to Win on Friday night. She was crying in laughter.
To stealing the raptor eggs. Grant's digs were under threat due to a lack of funding, and Billy saw the eggs as giant dollar signs as a means of funding them for 10 more years. But vicariously, I completely understand Grant's perspective in that it was dangerously stupid, as they know why the Velociraptors have been chasing them up to this point. Like the previous child actors in this series, Trevor serves as the child audience participation in the movie as he plays the Kirby son and how he's managed to survive for 8 weeks on the island. Trevor's performance is impressive for a performer that of a young teen that has adapted
He was
to the
good.
island and learning forest smarts of knowing where not to go on Site B and what dinosaurs to avoid. His chemistry with Sam Neill is amazing, as they make it look like a real fan-celebrity situation where they exchange knowledge. Laura's return appearance is much smaller.
Criminally
compared to the rest, but she plays an
underused.
important role in which her on-screen
Definitely.
has connections with the government and has him send the Navy and the Marines at the end.
I just want to say if you ever need help with anything.
That makes me wonder what her position is going to be like in Dominion.
You have to thank her now. She said the Navy and Marines.
God bless you, Ellie.
Yep.
Aww.
Problems I have with the writing and some of the casting choices, this much I cannot complain about the practical and visual effect dinosaurs. Considering how well Stan Winston had brought the set dinosaurs to life with his studio in making these animals look so realistic, and being able to make improvements on the velociraptors with the features of the feathers, and the way the animals had more personality to them with the way their heads would tilt with the bird-like characteristics, it made you believe you were seeing real animals. And the same can be said with the work ILM put in with sequences with running dinosaurs. From the raptors chasing our protagonists across the plain and into the jungle, or to the T-Rex and Spino engaging in a dino fight. The Spinosaur is a creature of nightmares, with the menacing
Come on, goddammit.
towering and domineering presence from when we first see it. Some of the most impressive and terrifying sequences are when it catches up with the boat.
I like that. It's better than Raw. Changed my mind.
In the water for real. That is a major benefit to the actors, as this allows them to have something to react to, as opposed to a lot of movies these days where CG is used and the cast are training their eye line to be correct for the visual effects team. I understand from a financial perspective that it saves money to use CG, but it looks less authentic when certain shots could be achieved practically. Only minor critique I'll say for the effects is that the blue screen at the beginning leaves a lot to be desired. If you've been watching movies for as long as I have, you tend to have a trained eye to what is on location and to what is superimposed. It's the lighting and contrast you have to watch for, because you know a lot more natural light would have been behind them and you can tell they're somewhat closer to the screen. Like the effects, there is very little for me to complain about with this movie's score. Don Davis took over from John Williams and offers his own take with pulse-racing pieces for the action scenes and some pleasant scores for when you have calmer moments with the Kirbys, and those uplifting pieces to when the family is reunited, to when everyone gets off the island safely. And of course, no Jurassic Park movie is complete without John Williams' iconic score. It doesn't matter how many years it's been since you hear it between movies, it still takes you back to a nice place from your youth. And that is a beautiful thing. Jurassic Park 3 grossed a profit of $368.8 million against a budget of $93 million. When you adjust it through 20 years of inflation, its takings today would be almost doubled at $552,000.
Botch!
Making a small profit, the movie was criticized for being nothing more than a chase ride with no real character development compared to the first two. Equally, the movie came under fire for not only replacing the T-Rex, but for the way it was taken out so quickly. Sam Neill has defended the movie on multiple occasions. When the 2011
Sir, you are
retrospective
far
was
more
put
kind than
together,
I
and
could
from an
be.
interview earlier this year saying that it's pretty damn good, aside from the final 10 minutes and hurried ending. I will agree that it could have done with being more drawn out, as the final raptor situation did feel too neatly wrapped up. I maintain, had the writing been fleshed out with elements allowed for time to breathe, then it may have improved the story and the overall runtime. There wouldn't be another Jurassic Park movie until 2015, when Jurassic World ended the 14-year hiatus with the beginning of a new trilogy, led by Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Dependent on whom you speak to, the movie has been enjoyed since 2001 on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now 4K.
Not by me. That movie.
And this was...
language!
Like the previous child actors in this series,
Owner.
Trevor serves as the child audience... There's my watch vibrating there. The watch is making the vibration, and that is our first blooper. Okay.
And this is all being done with my new camera, because notice there was little to no white noise in the background.
Yes, yeah, I see that.
Hey Doc, how did I get into another Jurassic Park movie? Love it. It's now also raptor hunting season. Doc, you know the raptors will hunt you. I hate words. Like the previous child actors in this series, Trevor serves as the child audience participation, in which he plays the Kirby's son and how he's managed to survive on...
Yes, I am the awesome sword.
Wait for it.
Oh no! God's gonna kill me later.
Well, originally I was going to put young Buckosaurus Rikaku.
No, that would trigger him. Don't do that.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Though there is a bit of trivia involving the T-Rex and Spino fight
No.
that I ended up watching. Because apparently they were supposed to use real animatronics in the sequence, but because of the way the Spino animatronic was built, it ended up breaking the T-Rex.
Yep. It took a while, but I ended the deadlock. I don't know why it keeps pushing the subscribe button over to the right like that. Okay, let's see what the comment section have said. Oh, they haven't said anything. One of the reasons I went for that is, as some of you know, I've got a moving session coming along soon, and I wanted to send the time in the current house off with, like, okay, you're doing this to shake the rust off, because as some people know, I've had a little bit of anxiety issues earlier in the year because of multiple other things that just sort of came together all at once. Not going to go into the specifics of that because it's neither the time nor the place for here. And it's one of the reasons why I was absent for so long on YouTube, which you guys know about as well, because I pretty much kept in contact almost every day, you know, because through those times it was nice just to have, you know, someone to talk to, because all of you have been through very similar situations to what I've been through. And it was only around, I think, late April, early May, I started getting ideas again about, alright, I need something as a means of not only ending the drought, but also something just to, like I say, send the house off. And I knew the 20th anniversary was coming up, and it's not very often I'll review a movie more than once. It's very rare when I do that, but because of the, I suppose, improvements as a reviewer and an editor since when this originally went up, with the original review in 2014, I thought, alright, let's actually show how you can handle this movie now with better audio, better visuals. To be fair with the green screen, with the way I edit, with, you know, the way it's shot, I know you have to keep a certain distance away from said green screen so you don't start fading into the background. I know I'm a lot savvier with how I can edit said techniques, and obviously I've actually got better camera equipment to be able to make it look better. I wanted to, like, reuse the raptors in a comedic segment again, whereas before it was, guys, you know, human buffet coming your way, it's happy hour. But I thought, I want to use the raptors where it's kind of a commentary of how bad Tia Leone's acting. I'm surprised Raiden didn't say beforehand when I was saying those that have seen Bad Boys will know she can't act her way out of a paper bag. I was half expecting him to go, I can't confirm this. But I
was thrown off by Wynn's acting.
I mean, originally I wasn't going to use her for a voiceover, but I remember, how good she was as Blue and the rest of the Raptor squad when I did the Jurassic World retrospective, and I showed her the lines that the Raptors would have, and she's like, gimme, 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 gimme. And the whole Jurassic Dominoes thing didn't come about until I was just out in the car park one time, just doing some duties outside, and I just sort of stumbled into this, like, send this bitch to acting school on the double. I was like, oh fuck no, we're not wasting good money on her. Let's get Dominoes instead. And I just randomly said, as one of the Raptors, I want human and pineapple, and then thought, there's something to that. And then come up with the idea of the Jurassic Classic, which was thought up on the spur of the moment. And the whole, like, health and safety, health warning at the end, like, human and pineapple pizza is not recommended for human consumption. I remember this when they did the episode of South Park when Kathy Lee Gifford was coming to South Park, and Cartman was taking the beefcake weight gain supplements.
Oh god!
I remember like the PSO going, may cause irreversible damage to the kidneys and liver. I'm like, okay, there's an idea that just popped into my head, and then originally at the end I was going to have Anthony Hopkins doing the thing, but then I thought, if he's eating, he's not going to sip it, he's going to go num 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 num. And now I secretly want to hear Anthony Hopkins go num 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 num.
And what makes me wonder if he's on Cameo.
Maybe. But I played that out to her on Friday night after she sent her voiceovers, did a little audio cleanup because there was a little bit of white noise hiss in the background. That she had to re-record a couple of times because Navi wanted to offer his vocal contributions, as only Navi does.
I miss hearing Navi.
Same.
Yeah.
But no, I sent that over to her via Google Drive, and then I hear her doing her laugh as only she can do, and I'm like, got her. And even she said, like, oh yeah, the guys are gonna be all over the floor laughing at this. And then as soon as the Jurassic Dominoes segment comes in and I'm hearing you just laughing out loud, it's like, perfect. Because again, it was something I had thought about, like, how can I do the Raptor joke differently? And then, like I say, it just hit me. Dominoes. I know some people get on my case saying, but Dominoes aren't going to, advertise cannibalism. Like, why do you think there's the health warning at the end? And obviously, it's clearly a joke. I mean, learn to take a bit of sense of humor. I don't know if Kaiju will see that yet. If Random sees it, okay. But, for whatever reason, he refuses to watch my stuff. That's up to him. But, finally, like I say, got that one under my belt. I'm thinking about reviewing The Man as the next movie to do, which means there's going to be that controversial moment from Samuel L. Jackson, and Ray's gonna look at me and go,
"Oh no!"
Ray's gonna be, yeah, because Ray'll be looking at me going, "What controversial moment? He's littered with them." Yeah, it's the one where he says, "If I come back and this smells like ass, I'm gonna." You can
beat the black out of you.
No. What I was referring to, I have to type it out.
Okay, hold on. Okay, like always, I will take the bullet reading black jokes.
That's why I'm not.
Nope.
That's why.
All right, hold on. I'll come back and this hood smells like ass. I'm going to beat you like a runaway slave. Sam Jackson.
Oh my god!
Like I say, folks, no way on God's green earth would I ever say that, because no.
Just no.
I mean, Raiden said it, and there are certain things I am allowed to say. That ain't one of them. No. But then again, some of the stuff that Sam Jackson's come out with in other movies be like, yeah, I'm not touching that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the director, when Sam Jackson told him that's the line I'm going to use, the director just goes, Sam, that one's on you. I'm amazed it made it into that final cut, and I showed that to one of my work colleagues, and he's just like, what the actual fuck? And I'm like, that's what I thought. But yeah, that'll be one that I'll be covering, and then all of you are going to put up signs going, Lids and Wayne would be like, what the fuck? I second that. Kaiju would be like, not touching that. Steve goes, and Raider's like, don't know what you're talking about, this shit's funny.
Yep.
But, it's just how to write it in a way whereby it's not necessarily getting away with it, but it's being able to offer a critique on it whilst doing it tastefully. Whereas I will probably hold a sign in a video saying, I'm not touching that with a 200-foot flagpole. It's like, nope.
Here's what you do. Here's what you do. After you say that, I'll have a recording of my voice, and I'll say, but I will.
And then Lids holds up an additional sign. Here comes the mushroom cloud.
And I just say duck and cover.
Yeah.
Like, duck and cover.
Oh, wait. Are we duck and covering because Raiden's about to say something controversial, or are we going to duck and cover because Oni decided to watch AEW again?
No.
Yes.
Fatality. But seriously, it's actually one of the tamer comedy Sam Jackson has been in. Because one of the very few movies where he never utters a single curse word is the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair to him, he did that role well as Mace Windu. And I'm like, Sam, I'd actually like to see more movies like this where you're being like this noble mentor, because he does it well.
And he got his own coloured lightsaber.
That he did. Although I like it whenever somebody makes up meme videos of what would Sam Jackson in Sam Jackson mode be like if he was playing Darth Vader. I'm like, don't give him ideas. But yeah, I will get round to reviewing that one purely as just a means of doing something different. And because of the fact that most of this season has been delayed due to my mental health for the last 4 months, this season is going to continue on until the season finale around Christmas time. So this is going to be like the only season where it's gone on for an entire calendar year. But that's just to make up for the fact that, you know, a lot of things have been happening IRL. And it's just a way for me to not have to, you know, like double back, you know, just do double the effort over a 3 to 4 month period. Just to get this season finished off, then go into season 17. I just thought, you know what? Save 17 for next year. You know, just get 16 done, because then Terminators 3 and 4 are covered for September. Finish up Turtlevember, which will be the Michael Bay variations, and then
That should be good.
And then what to do for December. Whether I follow up with Superman 2 or just go... I don't know. I'm actually considering doing a retrospective for Tron Legacy. Only because I've only ever reviewed that movie once. And this was back in the movie night days around 2010. So it's been a while since I've visited that movie, and plus it'd be nice just for me just to sit down and watch it again. Very underrated flick. Very underrated. I feel like it's a little bit weird because it's Tron in the title, but it focuses on the Kevin and Sam Flynn father-son relationship. But it has to be said, it was good to see the dude back, because it's one of it. That's the two roles Bridges is always going to be known for, either being the dude or being the Flinster. But you know, like I say, does it well. Stephen, thoughts on Jurassic Park 3 20 years later, and with regards to the review, do you think it's better than the original version I did in the second season of Real Features, or is it one of those not really comparable because of, you know, how I was as a reviewer back then?
In terms of Jurassic Park 3 itself, part of me likes the movie, although I will admit, looking at it 20 years since I first saw it, it does have a lot of problems, probably mainly to do with the production nightmares that went on behind the scenes. In terms of your review, you very much improved your style. And again, much like with Jurassic World, I loved the humor that you were able to put into it this time.
It was something that just aligned properly at the right time, because I thought, how am I going to make this different from last time? And like I say, dinosaurs and pizza, what would they eat? I want human and pineapple. If I don't see freaking memes of that across Facebook, I will go nuts.
And credit to the adorable one Win for the lines.
Yeah. I think that was like really the only real way for her to make her contributions. I mean, I could have put up, with her pulling the signs up being snarky, but I thought, no, she hates this movie as much as I do. So, have her vocalize it, and just after she dropped, when she drops an F-bomb, she got Steve Rogered. Originally, after that, there was going to be an additional recording where she go, "Oops, sorry," but maybe maybe she forgot. But it's like, it's fine the way it was. The only thing I would say is, I thought her recordings as Blue was better with the Jurassic World retrospective. But, and this is where I'm not going to be too harsh, and this is something Lids can attest to as well. West Coast of America in the last 2 weeks, major heat wave.
Yikes.
So, Wynn had to... Excuse me, that's the monster talking. Wynn not only had to wait for the temperature to cool down, but also there were engineering background noises going on within her neighborhood, so that would have impeded it. So
I know that feeling.
Lids, same questions to you. What are your thoughts on Jurassic Park 3 2 decades later? And with regards to the review, better or more or less on the same level as the original version?
Well, as to regards to your first question, I didn't see the movie back when it came out, but when I saw it later, it's like, there's something doesn't feel right about this. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the performances were good in that movie. It's just, this was like, this is at bottom tier levels of like quality. I mean, not with the effects and all that, but with the somewhat subpar acting, not from certain individuals, but we know who we're talking about. But other than that, this was like, compared to the other ones, it's like to the first two movies, that's definitely bottom tier. Like, it over time it got aggressively worse. I mean, first movie, you can't top that one. Second movie was fine for what it was. It wasn't terrible. Then the quality drops here. It's like it falls off a cliff. But just I don't have issues with it. It's just that I understand that. Yeah, I understand what subpar is subpar. But and in regards to the review, you did a good job. It's actually you've improved on your quality, especially from the last time you reviewed this movie. So other than all, I love it. It was a really damn good review.
Thank you. And last but never least, our own resident Raptor, Raiden. Same questions to you.
Pretty good, man. Definitely much better than your last review, and those wind parts had me dying. that was a great touch. So yeah, that was really good, really good.
And your thoughts on Jurassic Park 3 20 years later after its initial release?
I mean, shit. I've seen the stat screen review of it, and I've seen the kill count review of it. It's all bad, but I will agree in your review. At least some of the actors are trying, especially Sam Neill. So I wouldn't say it's the worst, but hey, it was dormant for a reason. The franchise was dormant for a reason because of this movie, but still, not the worst, but yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, originally it was going to be you holding the sign up going, "Really, dude? Virgil?" But I thought, no, that would be more suited to Oni, and yours would pop up going, hey, it's better than Raw, change my mind.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind the whole Virgil thing, but I understand why.
Yeah. I originally had lids with a sign when it got to between if it had been Gillian Anderson and Nicole Kidman to play Amanda Kirby, because then she'd pop up going, hey Nicole, how you doing?
How you doing? I knew that was coming.
But because I'd already had her written, popping up the sign, obvious blue screen is obvious. I'm like, yeah, that sounds something more like Lids would say, because she's just like, really, movie, you're gonna be this cheap? Because as I said, when you watch movies after a time, you know what's blue screen and what isn't. I'll give you an example. Back to the Future Part 2, when they're at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and future Marty McFly is climbing on the apparatus above Marty 1955 plane below, you notice the two, they don't belong together. That's like, and this is where I'm not going to be too harsh. That was just blue screen tech from the late 80s. You know it's not going to be perfect. Whereas you look at the chroma key work they did in Avengers Endgame, where they're all walking into the aircraft hangar, you'd swear blind that was a real hangar. Because of the lighting that was done. And even the kill count commented saying, how close they were to the blue screen. It's like, what does this movie care? It's cheap. And I'm like, oh no, please. Calling it cheap would be a compliment. I don't have any hang-ups against Joe Johnston because, to be fair to him, he's actually a reasonably competent director, because he was the one who directed the first Avenger. It's just living proof he can do a good movie. It's just he inevitably picks bad movies to do. I mean, Jurassic Park 3, as we mentioned, and he also directed The Wolfman.
Oh.
Yeah. Here's the thing, this is where I'm going to be objective with that movie. In terms of production values, set designs, and the atmosphere, it nailed it. Very gothic, moody atmosphere set in the early Victorian era in mid to late 19th century. It's like, no, that's perfect. That's got the real decent atmosphere for that particular story. It's just the writing. Well, the writing wasn't too bad, but it was some of the casting choices. I mean, Benicio del Toro, great actor. Poorly cast for this movie. And Emily Blunt, honey, you need to pick roles where your talent is not being overwhelmed, because I'm sorry, but I was not buying her performance whatsoever. I think the one who did it better, who did their roles better, Hugo Weaving.
Of course.
And here's the thing, though. Even when he's playing a protagonist, he's kind of playing a villain in a weird way. And then you have Anthony Hopkins, who chewed the scene, literally and figuratively.
Yep.
But he's a guy that, if he's going to go in all ham, he'll do it. Except in Transformers The Last Night, when you could see the look in his eyes like, I am doing this for the paycheck, I am doing this for the paycheck, where is my fucking money?
Mm-hmm.
And don't even get me started on Cogman.
We know.
It's when you hear him say, yo, bitch, get out the way. I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't.
No.
But yeah, it's like I say, there are things where you can see the movie's trying to be clever. If they'd actually gone the route of actually exploring the illegal cloning and actually extended the Velociraptor evolution, it would have taken the story up a few notches to where it's not Oscar worthy, but it wouldn't have been as bad as it was. But as Liz said, it was bottom tier, to where it literally, it not only jumped off the cliff, it dived into it and had the chain attached to it at the end. It's like, nope, you ain't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, sorry. Sorry about that.
That's right. So yeah, that's where we stand now with Real Features. Because of, like I said, I don't know how quickly I'm going to get the internet set back up. It's probably going to be mid-July before I start work on the next project. And I think at this stage, there was no chance of me doing a retrospective for Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th. And don't get me wrong, I love my boy. He's been one of my favorites for the last 30 years, but I've had more important things to deal with. So what I'm probably going to do as a compromise, sometime between early to midwinter next year, I will do a retrospective. But because it's 30 years, and because I actually put in a lot of reasonably good effort with retrospectives these days, I gotta do this right. And they always say timing happens for a reason. And I'm letting the cat out of the bag early, but next year there will be the start of another themed centric month. Next May, to coincide with the 20th anniversary, we're going to see the start of Spider-May.
Ooh.
Because the original Spidey movie turns 20 next summer.
Blimey.
Damn.
So
2002. What a year. What a year.
Yeah.
The same year that gave us episode 2.
Oh, yeah. And the same year that unfortunately we lost Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC.
And Steve Austin walked out.
Yeah. The Powerpuff Girls movie came out.
That was the original animated one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That was basically like their origin story.
And that's when the Sugar Babes were really starting to catch steam at the time. Because everybody remembers Round Round, and I'm probably sharing information I shouldn't. When I had time off around August that year, this was back when cable and satellite providers actually showed music videos on their channels. Yeah, MTV, you could learn a thing or two from that. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? I apologize for nothing. We were watching Sugar Babes' Round Round, and I will admit I had an eye for Koisha and Heidi. How you doing, girls? But then afterwards, Random takes my camcorder out into the in-between space of the kitchen, the diner, and the utility room, and he attempted to do a spin-a-rooney. I shit thee not.
Wow.
How did that end up?
Not very well. But It's on a VHS tape somewhere, but it's having the time and the patience and the equipment to get around to do it, and I don't have any of that. Yeah, 2002. Oh yeah, that was also when The Guru came out in the theaters.
Which Guru?
The Love Guru?
I believe so, yes.
That movie didn't come out till like 2008 or 9.
Hang on.
I do remember the Master of Disguise came out. Yeah, that movie was shit.
2002. Oh, I think that was the movie when Two Brothers came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the one I'm thinking of, because there is... no, it's just called The Guru.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one with Heather Graham, Marissa Tomei. How you doing? And Michael McKean. There's a name you don't hear so often.
Oh yeah. Also, Men in Black 2 came out that year too.
Oh
yeah. Like.
Yeah.
That was the one where Will Smith did the song Back in Black.
Nod your head.
Nod your head.
Wasn't as good as Men in Black from 95.
Yeah.
I did like the story that he tried to bring Kay back and actually restored his memory, which I thought, okay, you know.
Also, the banter they had, especially the scene where they're trying to get the chick to her destination. Especially when Kay didn't know what a Game Boy was. It was like, you want to give me a Game Boy? And Kay was like, what is a Game Boy? Okay, you know what? Move.
Of course, the only thing I'd seen in Michael McKean in previously before The Guru was Short Circuit 2 with Fisher Stevens. Oh dear. To be fair to him, if they had just written his character to be a little bit more appropriate to who and what he actually is, as opposed to him impersonating, trying to play an Indian professor, when Fisher Stevens, as you can clearly see, he is not Indian. It comes across as a bit inappropriate today. It'd be like, it'd be like if they got Keira Knightley to play a Mexican woman stereotype. It'd be like, no.
Yeah,
that wouldn't go over so well.
Didn't that happen with Aliens when a white chick played a Latina chick called Vasquez?
Think so?
We'll have to look that up.
I mean, the more recent example would be Scarlett Johansson playing the Major, which was like,
God, don't remind me of that fucking movie.
The only thing I will say, constructively, it was an interesting look. They got the hair right. I'll give them that. But you could have easily gotten a Japanese actress or an American actress of Japanese descent to play the Major. I mean, what would have been so bad about, getting Ming-Na Wen to play the Major? Because
or Rila Fukushima.
Yeah, that too. Because it's one thing if you're doing voiceovers where you get people from America to voice characters, because people don't really worry about that too much. They're more concerned about, is the voice actor good enough for that role? That's what they care about. But when it comes to live action, there are certain things you can't play around with too much. I don't have too much issues from a visual standpoint with the guy who played Bato, because visually he looked the part, especially with the prosthetic eyes that were put in. But it's just acting wise, I'm sorry, he didn't have it. And the thing with Scarlett was she didn't have the sass to be the Major. I always felt like she was being too restrained, whereas Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, when she's voicing the Major pissed off or being jovial, you can hear it. She's actually going there. Whereas Scarlett, she knows how to emote if you give her the right material. This was not the right material. And also, I found it a bit jarring how everyone else is speaking in English, but Beat Takashi, who's playing Aramaki, he's having to communicate via subtitles, and it's just like it's a bit of a style clash, I mean, either get him to speak English, or make everyone else learn Japanese and then put English subtitles in. If you have too many inconsistencies, it's going to throw people off. I don't know. If they ever do a sequel, heaven forbid that they don't, I would just recast someone else as the Major. And I think the age demographic they went with for Ghost in the Shell, because I think they went with a PG-13 rating. There's only so much PG-13 could get away with, because when the Major went from invisible to visible, if you were looking at the character from a distance away, it's like, you do know she looks naked like that, right?
Yeah, it did not. I don't know, it did not look great.
I mean, in the original anime movie, you know that she's naked because that's how she's able to use thermoptic camouflage, but when they went to do standalone complex, everyone else is able to do thermoptic camouflage, but it's built into their clothing, which I think from a subtlety standpoint, if there is such a thing, that made a lot more sense, because I mean, I like gorgeous women in anime as much as the next person, but suddenly to then look around at, Bato or Togasa, wearing nothing but smiles, it's like, guys, not my thing. No offense, but no, not my thing. But yeah. Dan just says, even these days, people will throw a hissy fit over a white guy voicing an Indian convenience store clerk in a cartoon and make the whole documentary about it. He makes a good point with that. Makes a very good point.
Yes, that shit was still lame to see. Like, really? You gonna use all that shit for what? Make a point for... I don't know. It was just dumb for me.
Well, here's the thing. They go and say that Apu is an Indian stereotype. Well, not really, because first of all, he has a doctorate in computer science. He runs his own business, and he's a loyal husband and a devoted father. It's like,
and vegetarian.
It's just like, where is the stereotype? How is he a stereotype? But
I mean, I think he must be referring to that one Treehouse of Horror episode where friggin' Mr. Burns was killing everybody, and Apu dies, and he was like, "Ha ha! You can't kill a Hindu. Help me, Jesus."
From what I've been hearing from The Simpsons, they've turned stupid Homer into jerk Homer. So basically, they've made him the Simpsons equivalent of Peter Griffin.
Nice.
And from what I've been hearing, of all people they could turn into an SJW, they've turned Bart, of all people, into that stereotype. It's like, you would think...
What?
Yeah, apparently Bart's an SJW now.
Oh, gee, why?
What? Excuse me, what planet have I landed on?
Okay. I can expect this from Lisa, but Bart?
Yeah. Bart
It's like the rebel with, like, the rebel. He's supposed to be the bad boy, but apparently he's an SJW. That makes no sense.
He was known as the Devil's Cabana Boy.
Oh God.
Damn,
that is the definition of character assassination.
Yeah.
Where you do it in service of the plot, not the character.
I picked a good time to stop watching Simpsons. God
Yeah.
damn, that's terrible.
I'm so glad I cut the cord years ago because
Well, most people did after season 12, because that's where they reckoned most of the humor went.
Yeah. It's in the same category as Family Guy with me. I just want those two shows to just die at this point.
Every now and again, I'll tune
It pays me
into...
to see. It pays me to see what Family Guy's become.
I know.
Because I used to watch that shit constantly.
I think what made Family Guy Sean just says, why not turn them into Karens? Please don't.
No.
Honestly,
Marge is kind of sort of is more of a Karen, honestly, because there was a lot of shit she did. There was a lot of shit she did. Like she single-handedly got rid of mixed martial arts in Springfield, or in the video game Simpsons Hit and Run. She basically forces Homer to destroy Boomstorm 2, which is basically a parody of Mortal Kombat.
Not to mention the whole that whole episode, which had her ban Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh God, I hate that episode so much.
They love, they share, they love and share. Love, 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 share, share, share. The Itchy and Scratchy Show. Lemonade.
And goodbye.
Please. You're my best friend. Itchy and Scratchy seems to have lost their edge. Oh, I think it conveys a great message about loving and sharing. I think it sucks. I agree with Bart. The only constant that you can always depend on is Mr. Burns being Mr. Burns. There was one episode, apparently this was not too far removed from the 2016 election. Burns is going to his alma mater university to make a donation, and you have the, let's call it for what they are, SJWs, what have you, saying, oh, this is offensive, that's offensive. Then he goes, I'm not giving money to you people. What do you mean, you people? That's offensive. You're worse than Hitler. Too late for flattery. I'm like, that is something Burns would say.
What? Yeah.
That actually happens. Like, you're worse than Hitler. Too late for flattery. I'm not giving this university a dime. And then, for whatever reason, cue Homer Simpson afterwards coming out as a robot, and you get robot go, you're badly impersonating a robot. That That's robotism. I'm being triggered. I'm like, really? We're going there?
Oh, that hurts.
Dan says it's funny how they make fun of SJW's 1 year to becoming them. Yep.
Yeah. What can you do?
Not much. Not
Tune
much.
out and watch something else.
Basically.
Oh yeah. Do something better, like, I don't know, watch the comedic and mishap adventures of Kaiju Noir, and it's like, why is there a camera following me around the house? Kaiju Noir visits the store. And it's like, why are you following me? Reminds me of, anyone remember that meme that was going around, where there's this music and titles done set to the style of the Powerpuff Girls, but it's focusing on this kid that the narrator just refers to as Dr. Tran. And you just see this poor kid just like hyperventilates. It's like, who are you people? It's one of those things you have to see for yourself. It's just like this poor kid where he's just losing it.
Oh.
Again, it's just something you have to see for yourself. It's one of those. The video explains it better than I can do vocally. It was funny it did its rounds for a while, but then it kind of faded into obscurity afterwards. I don't know what happened with it afterwards. Oh, Sean says, I remember that video. Probably, faded into obscurity about as much as the New Kids on the Block did after they made a comeback around 2008.
I remember that.
To be fair to them, alright, it's a little bit distracting hearing them still call themselves New Kids on the Block when it's about, at that stage, 18 years removed from when they did You've Got the Right Stuff. The Right Stuff. But
Back and help yourself.
But vocally, they could still go.
Most definitely.
And they did a duet with Neo, which I thought,
yeah,
okay.
There you go.
It's just, I think it just feels a little bit weird. It's like they're acting like a late teen, early 20s boy band when you can clearly see they're in their mid to late 30s by that point. But they pulled it off. And it's very rare when you see... I mean, to give Steve a comparison he can work with, it'd be like Boyzone coming back today, doing what they were doing in the early to mid 90s, but doing it at the age they're at now. It'd look a bit weird.
Yeah.
We know Take That did it, with Robbie Williams coming back with them for a time, but apparently most of the Take That concerts would be something like maybe 40 minutes of Take That songs, and it'd be like an hour and a half of Robbie Williams songs. I'm like, Robbie, I think you're missing the point with this. I like the guy for what he does as a musician, but I do feel like at times he overdoes it a little bit. And of all things, when his partner was giving birth to their kid, he was singing Frozen's Let It Go to her.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, that's on YouTube somewhere. And even like his partner's like, Robbie, will you stop singing Frozen? I was amazed that he was actually able to hold down a relationship for that long, because he was known for being a bit of a player back in the day. And rumor has it he and Ginger Spice had a thing.
Really?
But from what I understood, Ginger Spice tried it on with George Michael at some stage, and he's just like, I like you, Jerry, but not in that way. But to be fair to Jerry back in the day, she was fine. The girls were a bit taken aback when they found out that Ms. Halliwell had done some interesting modelling before her singing career. But even Liz would be like, okay, Miss Halliwell, I'm gonna have to get you to write down your number. Like, you and I are going to be friends later. Yes. Can I join in? No! This is Lydia time. And it's like, well, what can I have? Hi, I'm Eva Marie. And the Oni just jumps off a cliff. Bye, world. Oh, speaking of that, so much for that return.
Oh man.
Oh, I will watch that live. I had to watch that live.
I will say though, Piper Niven never, ever, 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 ever knock her beer over.
Yeah,
no, absolutely not. But that's a waste of
Piper
NXT talent. Why?
I'm just gonna say it right now. NXT UK will forever be a dead brand to me.
I will say this to her about her. Aside from being an impressive athlete, she is kind of cute.
Yeah, she is.
She's adorable.
Oh.
Why? Why?
Oh.
I sat through an hour of that garbage and I just stopped after that. No.
Oh.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Thank you, Kaiju. Oh, apparently people are offended by Nia Jax because she wore a see-through shirt, and I'm like, so?
Why? I don't really like her that much, but you got the
I don't like her as a person, but wear what you want. You do you.
I mean, if she was walking around backstage doing stuck on names right now. If she was, pulling an Enzo Amore, walking around backstage wearing only a smile, it'd be like, Nia, you can't really do that in a PG era, and I'm surprised Enzo was able to get away with that. Although he did look at Lana going, how you doing? And I think most of us would say the same thing to Lana. Rusev, you lucky bastard. But I will say this about Nia. If the invitation is offered saying, hey, want to go grab coffee? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Because as Raiden said, say what you will about Nia as a performer, she is beautiful.
Yeah, but unfortunately she's an anti-vaxxer, so no thanks.
Oh boy.
There goes that like.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but let's just say with some, I have questions and concerns. That is all. Let's put it this way. Let's say Lydia has a fit and healthy black and white border collie that she has called, let's just say Samson. Samson's a good name for a dog. And they come up with a vaccine. There's two vaccines. One that has been worked on for 6 to 7 years, that's gone through multiple rigorous testings and shows, no signs of any defects whatsoever, and there's one that's only been worked on for a year and hasn't been tested. Which one are you likely to take?
The first one.
Yeah. My stance with the vaccines, and I shall keep this as short and as and within the boundaries as I'm able to. I'm not against it, but I'm weighing up my decision so that I can come to a point where I'm making the right decision for me and others. Because I like to be able to just, read up and make an informed decision that way, rather than be peer pressured into something, because I find if somebody's trying to coerce or force me into doing something, I'm less likely to do it. It's a similar principle I have with other people. I will offer my advice. So, in this case, we give only advice on how to cook spaghetti bolognese, for the sake of discussion. And now Lydia's envisioning him and her reenacting the scene from Lady and the Tramp. I leave the advice on the table, saying, right, this is how I think you should prepare this meal, this, that. And then I just leave it on the table. What you do with that is up to you. That is my advice. I say to people, if you want to get the vaccine, do it because you chose to do it, and not something that you're forced into doing. Read up all the pros and cons and what have you, and then make your choice that way. What I don't tell people is, I don't say to them, no, you must not get this. I say, hey, make up your own choice. Because it's not my place to tell you what to do, and it's not my place to tell you what not to do. I'm just of the frame of mind, do your own research and come to your decision that way. I mean, I know plenty of people that have taken the vaccine. They're okay with it, and I know a few people that haven't taken it. I don't judge. It's like, hey, you live your life, I'll live mine. And I'm still weighing up the decision. It's why I don't talk about it on social media, because I'm not going to favor one side and, speak ill of the other. It's just like, hey, you do you, I'll do me. That way we won't do each other. Because people just want to get back to normal. And I think things will be helped along when people just learn to respect other people's choices. Because there are this is something that some people don't talk about. Some people have some health conditions where it would actually, where they're not able to take it because they're allergic to some specific types of medication, so they send them down, another path to do it. So, it's not as clear cut and dry as people think. So, like I say, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just somebody who's weighing up his decision. In the same way that, Steve made his own choice, I respect his choice. Raiden and Lids made their choice, not a problem. But for me, like I say, I'm still weighing it up. So, and also, how social media is with regards to if you try and speak negatively about it. I'm just speaking about it in a constructive way where I say, look, make up your own choice. Don't ever force it on somebody, because that's going to make them push it away even further. Because not all vaccines are bad. No, not all vaccines are bad. The The only thing I'm critical of is that I think they probably could have done with more time developing this, because it's a lot of people raised eyebrows with the fact that this was only done within less than a year. I think that's what a lot of people are concerned with about this. And that's all I'll say about it with regards to that, because as we've stated so many times, we are not a political podcast. It's never our intention to delve into things like this. If a question is asked in, I don't want to say an appropriate manner, but if it's asked in such a way, what is your stance on it, I will, I try to address it as honestly as I'm able to, but within the boundaries that I'm able to do, and not be political about it, because it is a political subject, but I try to do it in a way whereby I'm not trying to sway anybody. All I'm saying is, come to your own conclusions and do it what's best for you. Don't do it because you've been peer pressured or you've been bullied into it. If you get the vaccine, do it because you came to that decision, and only your decision. If any of you think I'm being unreasonable, say now.
Are you good?
Alright. I often ask for your feedback, because you guys are kind of like my moral conscience on a lot of occasions. If Oni was my moral conscience, oh good lord, I would be laid down on a psychiatrist couch reenacting my thoughts and feelings with sock puppets. It'd be like that.
Why am I getting? It's like, sorry.
Go on.
It's like that scene in one of the Family Guy episodes where Joe just goes, "Oh, for God's sake, make the voices stop!"
I have this image now of the two consciences on my shoulder. Oni would be dressed in the angel outfit, and L-Man would be dressed in the demon outfit. The weird thing is with L-Man, he'd probably enjoy that. Although
too much.
L-Man, if he was dressed up in the angel outfit, it's just like, okay, that's just offensive on the face of it.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your angelic L-Man, and I'm going to sing like an angel, like Ned Flanders did. Where Bart Simpson mistook him for his girlfriend. I was like, oh, that is very disturbing.
Nope. I
mean, angelic L-Man is like, well, it's just, like I said, it's disturbing on its own right. I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything to top that, because Oni would probably look and go, yep, I'm going to be downing whiskey the whole evening. And knowing Oni, that would be like his second bottle. Oh, by the way, there is actually one video that floats around on social media somewhere where this guy downed an entire bottle of whiskey through this little cigarette filter paper within like 30 seconds.
Oh, God, that's gonna do damage to your liver and kidneys.
Yeah, apparently he went to the hospital afterwards. I'm like, oh, why am I not surprised? And Dan's saying there is big news.
What big news?
Alright.
Yeah, Dan, what's the big news? Unless he's typing it out. Ah! The Scooby-Doo Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover movie is real, and it's coming soon to DVD. And that's something I won't be picking up.
What?
Yeah, that'd be great. This ain't the first. This ain't the first one that they crossed over. You know, remember those bumps with the Scooby Doo crew and Eustace, Muriel, and Courage.
Thought that was just a promo.
It was back in the day.
Damn.
It was a promo for Cars Cali Dollar Scooby Doo Marathon.
The one I remember seeing recently is, I think it was in Scoob. Fred and I think it was Daphne come across a statue of Scrappy Doo. It's like, what is this? No, just step away and ignore it.
That was Mystery Incorporated, where they're going through the old museum. They see it, and they have two statues, one of Flim Flam from 13 Ghosts, and then another of Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, even in the original live-action movie, they made Scrappy Doo the villain and then did away with him, because I don't think anybody likes Scrappy Doo.
Nobody likes Scrappy Doo.
No.
I think it's like anything. The character had innocent intentions, but it was just one of those, in execution, it didn't turn out so well. Yeah. I think on that note, we'll probably call it a day for tonight, because we're at a place whereby, you know, we're finishing up, not completely exhausted, and yeah, not a bad way to end the season. And yeah, thank you for tuning in this evening. There were more topics to get through, but as Raiden has said, we really need to try and stick to staying as the least under 3 hours as possible, because that way we're not burnt out so much.
Speaking of this season now, I think we can take a break till September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I say, it'll give me time, whilst we're off during the summer months, just to slowly get a couple of more reviews built up and ready for September. So by the time Terminators 3 and 4 reviews get there, hey Gwen, by the time Terminators 3 and 4 get there, I'm already working on the next two Hulk movies for Hulktober. By the way, Trial of the Incredible Hulk, not as good as I remember. She says, I'm visiting the States and I have some time off, so I thought I'd join. Gwyn, as much as we're glad you could join, we're literally about to wrap up for the evening.
Yeah, it was good to hear from you.
Yeah.
One of the things that Trial of the Incredible Hulk is notoriously known for, with the bad editing and bad sequencing. First Hulk out occurs on the New York subway. Bill Bixby has a beard as David Banner. It turns into the Hulk. Lou Ferrigno is clean shaven. And the Daredevil aspect is done well. I thought the actor was fine, but the way that Kingpin gets away in an airship with little to no struggle of him getting away is like, what? It's like, it's not really any surprise this thing did so badly. Not only the TV ratings, but it's one of the least best remembered on DVD. And then, of course, the year after that was the death of the Incredible Hulk, which was Bixby's final appearance as Banner. Because, unfortunately, they were going to do a follow-up TV movie called Revenge of the Incredible Hulk, where Banner is revived, but the Hulk gets reincarnated with Banner's mind now in the Hulk, even though Banner and the Hulk are separated. Because because Bixby, unfortunately, I think it was leukemia. He ended up developing, and the day before he slipped into a coma, he actually married his girlfriend.
Oh.
And he never woke up. He was quite young when he went, and if he were still around today, he probably would have been 87. Yeah, he was a distinguished actor when he went, and he wasn't like an over-the-top charismatic actor as, say, someone like Ted Danson, Kevin Kline, or Jim Carrey. But he was like a lot of people refer to as a cold actor, where he would have these like very dry-witted sense of humor about him. But you look at his performance as Banner in the TV series and in those movies, he's the very reason you tune in to watch every single time, because you feel his pain. And it's just a shame he's no longer with us, because it would have been interesting if he had like a walk-on part in the 2008 Incredible Hulk, just to have, like imagine seeing like the Hulk walk by and then he just makes like an offhand comment of going, yeah, I know how that feels.
Yeah.
I mean, he got given a cameo courtesy of archive footage of the courtship of Eddie's father. But, it would have been nice if we could have had something a little bit more. But, it is what it is. And Dan says, bad news, Johnny Test is being rebooted to Netflix.
Ew, why?
Because fuck us, that's why.
What he said. Although I have heard that they're actually trying to turn Johnny Quest into a live-action Indiana Jones type movie.
I could do with that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, the last time I ever seen anything Johnny Quest related, well, aside from the comics, was The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Oh, yes. Loved that show.
The one with the VR.
Yep.
Yeah, CGI was kind of jarring, but honestly, it was like the 90s, so, it was there.
Well, you knew it was going to be dated anyhow, by the time it got like 5 years down the line. I mean, people like us will go back to watch the original reboot because we like the story and the characters, but to people that are seeing it today, they won't watch it because to them the graphics are dated. And on that note, Gwyn says, I wonder how that would work out. I think she's probably talking about Johnny Test. On that note, we're going to call it a day, folks. Thank you for tuning in to this season finale. I know this season has had its ups and downs, mainly due to my mental health problems with anxiety earlier in the year, which, as I've stated numerous times, I'm not going to go into the implications of that because this is neither the place nor the time to do this, and there are some things that are best left alone. Season 17, no, not season 17, that's real features. Season 9 of SKL hopefully will be less interrupted. I think I was amazed that we were able to get as many episodes as we could out for this season, but you know what? It is what it is. And I would just like to take this opportunity to say to people like Dan, people like Sean, and Shoma, if you're listening there, by the way, shut up, Raph. And to, every one of my co-hosts, thank you for having my back and supporting me when I had possibly one of the lowest points I've ever had in my time as a podcaster, a video maker, and as a person, because this year has been challenging for me, like it has been for many people, courtesy of the global situation. And Sunday nights where we would just hang out on Discord when I wasn't feeling myself. I don't say this very often, but it was nice to know that, it was nice to know that my family was there for me, keeping me comforted all the way. And for that, guys, I love you for it.
No problem.
Me too, bro. Me too.
Yeah. Dan says, you're very welcome, MJ. Appreciate that, Dan. Appreciate that. Season 9, folks. Hopefully it'll be better. For what little the season we had this for throughout the first half of 2021, it had some funny moments, particularly when we wailed upon Ross saying we were on our break, and we're like, oh dude, will you give it a rest? It's had its moments, but I'm glad I was actually able to get it back on track and just get something meaningful out of it. And Win, if you're listening to this later, thank you for your contributions where you were able to contribute. I know you've had things you've had to deal with in real life, which, folks, we're not going to get into here.
IRL.
Yeah, leave it at that. And Kaiju, he's had a busy 2021 with a lot of the stuff he does with his Draco Azul comic. Go buy it
and his podcast.
Yep.
Buy that shit.
Yep. Go buy it from Amazon and look it up on Comixology. Give Lydia
Read it on your Kindle.
Give Lydia $1 million so she can tease Oni with Pickup Truck and say, no, honey, you get this pickup truck when you stop hating on AEW. And there's Raiden going like, oh, you're going to lose that bet, boy. And by the Cyber-Raiden inspired Your L Sustains Me, so that Raiden could go cruising like a villain and go, yo, I'd be rivaling Kanye West to see who can be the bigger badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, Mr. Raiden, what is this powered by? My awesomeness. Actually, that's not a bad idea for a t-shirt. Long-winded, drawn out. Folks, thanks for tuning into the season finale. And stay safe. Be good to each other out there. And hopefully this time next year we can all come out of this and get back to some semblance of something less panicky, for lack of a better description. Good night from the night.
Good night.
Y'all later.
Bye, everyone. Take care.